Good morning, Year Fours. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, that you're well rested, and that you're ready for the new week. Let's have a look at what we'll be doing this week. Okay, on this PowerPoint presentation, which is called Part 1, you will be learning about the present and past continuous tense, as well as the future simple tense. Then on a second PowerPoint presentation separately, called Part 2, you'll be learning about personal pronouns, the subject and the object of sentences, and then we'll have a quick review of nouns, verbs, and adjectives, work that has been done in Term 1. Year 4s, in order for me to explain to you the present continuous and the past continuous tenses, I need to quickly review the simple present tense, which we did in Term 1. So for this one, you can sit back and relax a little bit while listening carefully and staying focused, because this is not the focus of the lesson, but it is knowledge that you need to know. How do we use the present simple tense? I hope you can remember how I taught you in class, but I'm quickly going to explain it again. I am a singular person, but for some reason I am so important that I don't get the added S to the verb. The same goes with you, which is quite weird, but you can be singular, just you, or you can be more than one person, a group of people, or two people. And they kept it fairly easy for us to remember by not adding an S to the verb. Remember last week we did singular and plural forms of the nouns. So here you're going to hear lots of singular and plural. So when it's one person, he, she, it, the boy, the girl, mom, dad, it gets an S added to the doing word. Buys, she reads, it eats, the boy thinks, mom bakes, and so on. When it's plural, meaning it's a group, more than one person, you, we, they, the boys, the girls, the parents, we just keep the verb simple. Buy, read, think, come, eat. So when do we use the simple present tense? It's usually used to express general truths, meaning something that happens every single day without us thinking about it. The sun rises in the east, or Peter brushes his teeth, or my sister eats breakfast every morning. It's also there for habits, something that happens every week or every day. I play badminton every Tuesday. Or Susan visits her ballet class every Monday. And then it's also for permanent situations like he works in a bank. Dad works at the fire station. Right. So that is exactly when we use the simple present tense. Have a look at how we use the simple present tense in positive sentences, negative sentences, and also in question sentences. So we speak in this way when we're positive. I do my homework, he does the washing, she eats, it runs, you walk, we talk, they sit. When it's negative, when you haven't done it, then it goes with a not. So I do not, he does not, she does not eat, it does not run, you do not walk, we do not talk, they do not sit. Take note, the single people has the does with the S added. More than one person has the do. It's plain and simple. And then when you ask a question, you start with that word do or does. Do for people more than one, and it applies to I as well. So do I, Does he? Does she? Does it? Do you? Do we? Do they? Right, let's continue now. We're moving on to the present continuous tense. This is once again a review for us in order to move on to the past continuous tense, which will be the focus of today's lesson. How do we use this tense? Okay, we use the words am, is, and are as linking words between the subject, the words I, you, he, she, you, we, or they, to link it with the verbs. There you can see I am, very special because I have its own word, which is am. Then something interesting is you. Even though you is a singular person, you can also be a group of lots of people or just two people. So they kept it fairly easy for us to remember that you will always use a are. And then the singular people, he, she, it, or thing, boy, girl, mom, dad, Susie, the cat, they use is, and then the plural words, you, we, they, boys, girls, sisters, brothers, use are. And then your verb, your doing word, gets an ing added to the end of the word. So plain and simple, you can see there, I am going, you are doing, she is seeing, we are telling, or they are reading. When do we use the present continuous tense? It is to describe when something is happening at that exact moment of speaking, or it is continuing in that moment. So something like, Jim is watching television at this moment. So as we are speaking, he's watching television. The ing of continuous tense means it is continuing. So that's an easy way of remember it. It is continuing to happen at this moment. I would please like to show you here as well the positive, negative, and question sentences that is used in the present continuous tense. So positive sentences, plain and simple. You have your am, is, and are with your verb. So there's a simple sentence. He is playing. They are singing. Then with a negative sentence, you just add the not. So he is not playing. I am not listening. They are not going to the game. And then when you have your question sentence, you just start with the am, is, or are. Am I being good? Is he playing the piano? Or are they going to the park tomorrow? Here are some further examples of the positive, negative, and question sentences in the present continuous tense. There you see all the positive ones. I am, he is, she is, it is, you are, we are, and they are. And then when it's negative, the not is added at the end. I am not, he is not, she is not, it is not, you are not, we are not, and they are not. And then again, at the beginning of a question sentence, you now start with the am, is, or are. Am I? Is he? Is it? Are you? Are they? Okay, now this is the work where you now really have to pay attention because this is what you will be doing in your GDE books today. The past continuous tense. Now, because you know about the present continuous tense, this will be fairly simple because it's slightly easier. We only have two words. So instead of am, is, or are, we only now have a was and a were. The is was for singular people, right? And now I also fall in that category of being one single person. So I, he, she, it, any singular person or thing is was, and anyone who is more than one, you, we, they, the group, the boys, the cats, were. Okay, and once again, it gets an ing added to the doing word, the verb. So I was singing, she was playing, you were reading, they were writing. Okay, words to look out for when you using the past continuous tense, and it might give you an indication of the tense, is words like when, while, at that moment or at that time, all day, all evening, all morning, all afternoon, constantly, and always. So when do we use this tense? So we use it to describe what somebody's doing at that moment at a particular point in time. So yesterday morning, Dad was brushing his teeth. Yesterday afternoon, or all afternoon, Mom was cooking soup. So there you hear it. It was a particular point in time when that happened. Okay, once again, the positive, negative, and question sentences. Just have a look at them there. She was cooking all morning. Positive sentence. When it's negative, you just add the not. She was not sleeping when he came home. And then the question sentence, where you just put the was or were at the beginning of the sentence. Was she sleeping when he came home? Here follows some further examples of the past continuous tense uses in positive, negative, and question sentences. There you can see clearly how it is used. I'm going to read you the first one, and then you could read out the other sentences aloud by yourself. You can pretend you're the teacher teaching your pupils in your class. You were watching television last night, your positive sentence. Negative, you were not watching television last night. And then when it's a question, were you watching television last night? You can now continue by yourself reading those sentences out loud to get used to the way of using the was and the were in different ways. Okay, I would like you to please complete task 1. In your pink GDE book, there's an activity for the present and past continuous verbs on page 62 and 63, and then as well negative sentences of the past and the present on page 59. I would also then like you to read page 31 and 32. Guys, it's really important that you continue reading every single day. That should pretty much take you about 10 minutes maximum. Thank you. Now we move on to the simple future tense. We haven't done any future tenses so far, so here we go. This one is pretty easy. When we speak about the future, usually we will use the word will. I will be going to the shops. You will be doing your football practice tomorrow. And we also use the words going to. I am going to Clearwater tomorrow. I'm going to visit my grandparents over the weekend. So there is particular rules which says you use will when a situation is unplanned for the future, or you use going to when a situation is planned. Don't worry about that too much. Both words, will and going to, is perfectly fine when you talk about the future tense. So don't worry about when you should be using what, because usually when you speak naturally, it comes out the right way, because we are so used to and exposed to television programs, books, and hearing people speak. Have a look at the positive and negative and question sentences of the simple future tense. You might have seen now very clearly that will is used with everything, whether you're single or whether you are a group, more than one person, it's just will all the time. So this makes the future tense, the simple future tense, really simple. So I will come, you will come, he will, she will, it will, they will, you will, we will. Just will. And then when we say it in the negative, it's just a not added to it. I will not, you will not, she will not, we will not. Plain and simple as that. Question then starts with will. Very, very easy. Will I come? Will she come? Will we come? Or will they come? So once again, I just repeat over there. The future tense shows actions which will happen in the future. And the form of the verb that we are using is will, and I am going to, is going to, or are going to. Okay. Here's the task that you need to do. The future tense verbs in your Pink GD ebook, just the first half of page 100. And then, because it's such a quick activity that's going to take you, I'm sure, less than 10 minutes, you can please do a comprehension for me as well on page 70. Michael gets a pet. Then as well, read page 34 and 35. Thank you, guys.